KJRMON from Sweden in Corintio is P1 on softs. Yossarian in Biondet T is second. Rens rides from Netherlands in Pagio Seco is first, driving a Porsche 911 GT3R. Yossarian in Borgo San Lorenzo is second. KJRMON in Scarperia is third. "40 minutes remaining in the session. Yossarian in Bucini is second. HMG from Poland is third, driving a BMW Z4. Yossarian is first. Best lap is a 1:49.389. KJRMON in Pelagio is P4. Rens rides in Biondet T is fourth. Yosarian from Croatia is P1. Renz rides in Borgo San Lorenzo is P5. LIAM14 in Arabia 2 is 5th driving a McLaren 650. Yosarian from Croatia in San Donato is first. HMG in Materassi is P3 driving a Z4. Best lap is a 1:54.022. 35 minutes remaining in the session. Renz rides is P4. Best lap is a 1:55.097. LIAM14 is P5. Renz rides in Biondetti is P4 driving a Porsche 911 GT3R. LIAM14 is 5th. KHRMON in Scarperia is P2. Best lap is a 1:52.395. Arian from Croatia in Rettilineo is first. Renz rides in Rettilineo is fourth. LIAM14 in Biondet is fifth. Arian is first. HMG in Buchini is P3. 30 minutes remaining in the session. Potato is P7 driving a Nissan GT-R GT3. Paul Jewell from England in Poggio Seco is P6 on mediums driving a McLaren 650. Renz rides in Sevel Lee is fourth. Arian in Rettilineo is first. Paul Jewell in Rettilineo is P5 on mediums. Arian in Scarperia is P1. LIAM14 in Buchini is P6. Paul Jewell is P7 driving a McLaren 650. Renz Riedson Pelagio is 4th driving a Porsche 911 GT3R. Jos Arian is P1. "25 minutes remaining in the session. LIAM14 in Buchini is P5 driving a 650. KJRMON is P3. Spiker from India is 7th driving a Ferrari 488 GT3. Best lap is a 1:56.713. Paul Jewell in Buchini is P8 driving a McLaren 650. Potato in Pelagio is 2nd driving a Nissan GT-R GT3. Best lap is a 1:51.007. Paul Jewell in Arabia 1 is 5th. Best lap is a 1:53.999. Spiker in Seville Lee is 8th. Paul Jewell in Rettilineo is 5th driving a McLaren 650. Yossarian in Corinthio is P1. Spiker in Rettilineo is 8th. KHRMON in Borgo San Lorenzo is 3rd. Paul Jewell in Buccini is 4th. Best lap is a 1:52.629. LIAM14 in Savelle Lee is P7. Best lap is a 1:56.203. 20 minutes remaining in the session. Sky from Poland in Savelle Lee is P9 on softs driving a McLaren 650. LIAM14 in Rettilineo is P7 driving a 650. Sky in Rettilineo is 9th. KHRMON is 3rd. Sky in Arrabbiata 2 is P9. Paul Jewell in Corinthio is P4. Sky is P1. Best lap is a 1:49.258. Jos Arian is second. Spiker from India in Retilaneo is P8. Best lap is a 1:55.988. Jos Arian in Arabia Auto 1 is second. 15 minutes remaining in the session. Renz Rides in Lucco is 7th. HMG in Materassi is P6. Best lap is a 1:53.345. Potato in Savelli is P3. Best lap is a 1:50.268. Paul Jewell is 4th. Best lap is a 1:51.447. Renz Rides in Retilaneo is P7. KJRMON in Savelli is P5. Best lap is a 1:52.155. HMG in Scarperia is P6. Peeps from Argentina is 11th driving a BMW Z4. KJRMON in Paggio Seco is 4th. Best lap is a 151.267. Ten minutes remaining in the session. Paul Jewell in Buccini is 5th. Renz rides is P8 driving a 911 GT3R. KJRMON in Buccini is 4th. Paul Jewell in Corinthio is 5th. HMG in Corinthio is P7 driving a BMW Z4. Peeps is 12th. Paul Jewell in Borgo San Lorenzo is P5. Peeps in Buccini is 12th. Paul Jewell in Bucchini is 5th. Yossarian in San Donato is 1st. Best lap is a 1:48.953. Sky in San Donato is 2nd. Five minutes remaining in the session. Francesco Fede from Italy is 7th, driving a Ferrari 488 GT3. Best lap is a 1:52.495. Potato in Lucco is 3rd. Best lap is a 1:49.822. Francesco Fede in Bucchini is P7. Spiker in Scarperia is 9th on softs. Best lap is a 1:54.555. Potato in Rettilineo is 3rd. Renz Rideson Sevel Lee is 10th. Sky from Poland in Arabia Auto 1 is 2nd. Potato is third. Alamroff 1 from United States and Arabia Auto 1 is 15th on softs driving a Ferrari 488 GT3. Herman in Rettilineo is P16 on softs driving a BMW Z4. Peeps in Materossi is 7th driving a Z4. Best lap is a 152.419. Sky in Buchini is P2. Peeps is 7th. Renz Rides is 11th. Paul Jewell in Rettilineo is 7th. Renz Rides is 11th driving a 911 GT3R. Spiker in Rettilineo is P10 on softs. IMEH, Hesitant Face, is 17th. Spiker from India in Arabia Auto 1 is P10. IMEH, Hesitant Face, from United States in Savelle Lee is P16. The qualification session is at Autodromo del Mugello in Scarperia, Italy. The wind speed is 11 km/h from the northeast. Alam Roth 1 from United States in Rettilineo is P1 driving a BMW Z4. HMG from Poland in San Donato is 9th on softs driving a BMW Z4. Potato in Arabia Auto 1 is 5th driving a Nissan GT-R GT3. Peeps from Argentina in Arabia Auto 2 is 12th on mediums driving a BMW Z4. Josarian from Croatia in Rettilineo is 14th. Josarian is up 12.59 in Monte Rossi. Yas Arian is up 12.71 in Arabia Auto 2. Yas Arian is up 13.04 in Biondet T. KJRMON from Sweden in Rättilännäo is third. Herman in Rättilännäo is P5 on softs driving a BMW Z4. Alam Roth 1 in San Donato is P5 up 0.48. Alam Roth 1 is up 0.07 in Casanova. Herman in Borgo San Lorenzo is P15 up 0.29 driving a BMW Z4. Alam Roth 1 in Arabia Auto 1 is P8 up 0.24. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Alam Roth 1 is up 0.23 in Corintaio. Sky from Poland in Biondet T is first up 0.80 on softs driving a McLaren 650. Sky is provisional pole with a 147.997. LIAM14 in Corintaio is 10th up 3.98 on softs driving a McLaren 650. LIAM14 is up 4.87 in Rättilännäo. Peeps is 11th up 6.55 on mediums. Francesco Feed from Italy in Corintaio is 12th up 11.59 on softs driving a Ferrari 488 GT3. Francesco Feed is up 11.62 in Rättilännäo. Spiker from India in Rättilännäo is P12 on softs driving a Ferrari 488 GT3. HMG is P6 up 0.32. Best lap is a 151.202. 3.205 off pole. LIAM14 is P12 up 0.59. LIAM14 is up 0.89 in Rettilineo. LIAM14 improved is 10th with a 153.411. 5.414 off pole. Peeps in Rettilineo is P14. Luan from Brazil in Buchini is P14 up 3.11 driving a Lamborghini Huracan GT3. Yossarian in Rettilineo is P2. Yossarian improved is P2 with a 148.685. POINT 688 off pole. Spiker in Rettilineo is 14th driving a 488. Spiker improved is P13 with a 154.118. 6.121 off pole. KJRMON from Sweden is 8th up 0.24. KJRMON improved is P7 with a 151.440. 3.443 off pole. 5 minutes remaining in the session. LIAM14 is 12th. LIAM14 is up 1.23 in Rettilineo. LIAM14 improved is P9 with a 152.223. 4.226 off pole. Peeps in Rettilineo is P10. Peeps improved is P9 with a 152.209. 4.212 off pole. Paul Jewell from England is 5th up 0.12 on mediums driving a McLaren 650. Paul Jewell is up 0.43 in Arabia Auto 1. Paul Jewell is up 0.24 in Corintaio. Paul Jewell is up 0.18 in Rettilineo. Paul Jewell improved is P4 with a 150.947. 2.950 off pole. Luan in Corintaio is P8 up 1.19. Luan is up 0.64 in Rettilineo. Lewin improved is 6th with a 151.065. 3.068 off pole. Rens rides from Netherlands in Rettilineo is 14th driving a Porsche 911 GT3R. Rens rides improved is 14th with a 154.332. 6.335 off pole. IMEH, hesitant face, is P18. IMEH, hesitant face, is up 28.48 in Borgo San Lorenzo. IMEH, hesitant face, is up 28.69 in Arrabbiata 2. IMEH, hesitant face, is up 28.56 in Corintio. IMEH, hesitant face, is up 10.63 in Bucini. DJC, AIN is 19th up 11.42 on mediums. The qualifying session is now in overtime. KJRMON in Biondetti is 8th up 0.19 on mediums. KJRMON improved is P7 with a 151.179. 3.182 off pole. KJRMON is up 0.08 in San Donato. Paul Jewell in Bucini is P4 up 0.21. DJC, AIN is 17th up 14.37. DJC, AIN is up 14.09 in Rettilineo. Rens rides in Arrabbiata 1 is 14th up 0.45. Yossarian in Rettilineo is 2nd on softs. Konstantin Rakhonov is 18th driving a Nissan GT-R GT3. Konstantin Rakhonov is up 22.40 in Mate Rossi. The race session is at Autodromo del Mugello in Scarperia, Italy. The wind speed is 6 km/h from the north-northeast. Sky is first. Josarian from Croatia is P2. Potato is P3 on mediums driving a Nissan GT-R GT3. Paul Jewell from England is P4 on mediums driving a McLaren 650. Francesco Fede from Italy is P5 on mediums driving a Ferrari 488 GT3. Luan from Brazil is P6 on softs driving a Lamborghini Huracan GT3. KJRMON from Sweden is 7th. CANNA77 entering the pits is 21st. Luan entering the pits is 22nd. 20 minutes remaining in the session race start. Sky is P1. Josarian in San Donato is P2. KJRMON in Poggio Seco is P5. LIAM14 in Borgo San Lorenzo is 9th on softs driving a McLaren 650. Trapitz from Spain in Seville is 10th on mediums driving a Porsche 911 GT3R. Luan exiting pits on mediums. Trapitz passed LIAM14 for P9. Gergely K from Hungary is P13 on mediums driving a Porsche 911 GT3R. Francesco Fede is P16. Trapitz in Buccini is P8. Pepys entering the pits is 2nd. Trapitz is now P7. LIAM14 in Rettilineo is P8, 0.2 behind Trapitz. LIAM14 is now P7. Trapitz in San Donato is 7th on mediums, 0.1 behind LIAM14. Trapitz passed LIAM14 for 6th. Gergely K in Poggio Seco is P9, 0.1 ahead of FTS E36. Alam Roth 1 entering the pits is 18th. Rens Rides from Netherlands in Poggio Seco is 17th on softs driving a Porsche 911 GT3R, 0.4 behind Spiker. KJRMON in Arabia Auto 1 is P10, 1.4 ahead of Konstantin Rakhonov. KJRMON is now 10th. IMEH, Hesitant Face, from United States in Scarperia is P12 driving a Lamborghini Huracan GT3, 0.2 behind KJRMON. IMEH, Hesitant Face, passed KJRMON for 11th. Alam Roth 1 exiting pits on softs. HMG is 10th. HMG is now P13. Spiker from India in Corintaio is P14 on softs driving a Ferrari 488 GT3 battling HMG. Spiker passed HMG for 13th. LIAM14 on lap 2 is P8, 1.2 ahead of IMEH, hesitant face. LIAM14 exiting pits on softs. LIAM14 lost 11th to DJC, AIN. IMEH, hesitant face, on lap 3 is P9, 0.2 behind KJRMON. Sky from Poland in Sewell Lee is 4th on softs driving a McLaren 650. Sky lost 5th to FTSE 36. IMEH, hesitant face, in Sewell Lee is 9th, 0.2 ahead of Francesco Feed. 15 minutes remaining in the session. Alamroff 1 entering the pits is P19. IMEH, hesitant face, is now 10th. FTSE 36 in Biondetti is 5th on softs driving a Ferrari 488 GT3, 0.5 behind Trapitz. Trapitz from Spain in Retilaneo is P5 battling FTSE 36. Alamroff 1 exiting pits on softs. Potato is 2nd driving a GTR, 2.8 behind Jos Arian. Jos Arian was 1.5 faster last lap. Gergely K in San Donato is P6, 0.5 ahead of Francesco Feed. Vexman 20 entering the pits is 20th. Gergely K lost P6 to Francesco Feed. LIAM14 in Poggio Seco is P8, 0.5 behind Gergely K. Trapitz exiting pits on mediums. Gergely K in Borgo San Lorenzo is P8 driving a Porsche 911 GT3R, 0.2 behind LIAM14. Gergely K lost 8th to IMEH, hesitant face. Vexman 20 exiting pits. DJC, AIN in Arrabbiata 1 is 10th. Best lap is a 1:59.862. 11.103 off the fastest lap. Renz Rides is 13th driving a Porsche 911 GT3R, 0.1 ahead of Spiker. Renz Rides lost P13 to Spiker. Renz Rides passed Spiker for 13th. Alamroff 1 entering the pits is P18. DJC, AIN is 11th. IMEH, hesitant face, in Buccini is 8th, 0.4 behind LIAM14. LIAM14 was 3.7 faster last lap. Alamroff 1 exiting pits on softs. Sky in Retilaneo is P10, 0.3 behind Gergely K. Vexman 20 entering the pits is 20th. Sky passed Gergely K for 9th. Gergely K in Lucco is P10. Best lap is a 1:53.367. 4.614 off the fastest lap. IMEH, hesitant face, in Borgo San Lorenzo is P8, 0.4 behind LIAM14. Klavgad entering the pits is P19. Spiker is P13. Spiker lost 14th to Trapitz. IMEH, hesitant face, in Arabia Auto 2 is 10th driving a Lamborghini Huracan GT3, 0.2 ahead of DJC, AIN. Vexman 20 exiting pits on softs. IMEH, hesitant face, lost P10 to DJC, AIN. IMEH, hesitant face, lost 11th to HMG. IMEH, hesitant face, lost P13 to Trapitz. Trapitz in Scarperia on lap 5 is P13, 1.1 behind Ren's rides. Trapitz was 15.1 faster last lap. Frank entering the pits is 21st. 10 minutes remaining in the session. Gurgley K on lap 6 is 9th, 1.5 behind LIAM14. Gurgley K was 0.6 faster last lap. Alamroff 1 entering the pits is P17. HMG from Poland is P11 on mediums driving a BMW Z4, 0.5 behind DJC, AIN. Francesco Feed is 6th, 3.7 behind KJRMON. Francesco Feed entering the pits is 1st. Spiker is P15. Frank exiting pits on mediums. Ove entering the pits is P18. LIAM14 in Pelagio is 9th, 0.1 behind Gurgley K. TJSPQF exiting pits on mediums. DJC, AIN in Corintaio is 11th, 2.5 behind HMG. Frank from Sweden in Scarperia is 20th on mediums driving a Nissan GTR GT3. Lewin is 14th, 0.2 behind Ren's rides. Lewin is now P13. HMG in Seville Lee is 9th, 4.1 ahead of DJC, AIN. Patate Socree exiting pits on mediums. Spiker in San Donato is P14. Test Racer 6991 exiting pits. Ren's rides is P13. Yas Arian in Corinthio is P1. Vexman 20 from Czech Republic on lap 3 is P15 on softs driving a Nissan GT-R GT3. Trapitz is P11. Five minutes remaining in the session. KJRMON is P5, 2.3 ahead of Sky. Batniks exiting pits on softs. Trapitz is P11. Best lap is a 152.217. 3.591 off the fastest lap. Patate Sucre exiting pits on mediums. Patate Sucre in Rettilineo is 19th. Batniks entering the pits is P21. Trapitz is 11th, 0.9 behind DJC, AIN. DJC, AIN in Borgo San Lorenzo is P11, 0.3 behind Trapitz. LIAM14 in Pelagio is 8th. LIAM14 lost 8th to HMG. HMG from Poland in Biondet is 8th. HMG lost P8 to LIAM14. KJRMON in Materassi is 6th, 0.1 behind Sky. LIAM14 in Rettilineo is 9th driving a McLaren 650, 0.2 behind HMG. KJRMON in Corinthio is 6th, 0.8 behind Sky. FTSE36 is first. FTSE36 exiting pits. FTSE36 lost P3 to Paul Jewell. Frank is P15 on softs. Frank exiting pits on softs. Frank lost 15th to TJSPQF. Renz rides in Borgo San Lorenzo is P12 driving a Porsche 911 GT3R. TJSPQF entering the pits is 15th. CANNA77 exiting pits on mediums. The leader has just finished the race. Yas Arian finished first. DJC, AIN finished 11th. Potato finished P2. Paul Jewell finished P3. FTSE36 finished P4. Sky finished 5th. KJRMON finished P6. Renz Rides finished P12. Frank finished P16. Gergely K finished 7th. HMG is P8. HMG finished 8th. LIAM14 finished P9. Test Racer 6991 finished 17th. Spiker finished P13. Trapitz finished 10th. The race session is at Autodromo del Mugello in Scarperia, Italy. The wind speed is 6 km/h from the northeast. Renz rides is P1. DJC, AIN is second. LIAM14 is P3 on softs driving a McLaren 650. HMG from Poland is 4th driving a BMW Z4. KJRMON from Sweden is P5. Sky from Poland is 6th on softs driving a McLaren 650. FTSE36 is 7th driving a Ferrari 488 GT3. Stanko Zaribar entering the pits is P19. 20 minutes remaining in the session race start. Renz rides is first. KJRMON in San Donato is P3. Stanko Zaribar exiting pits. Potato in Poggio Seco is 5th on mediums driving a Nissan GT-R GT3. TJSPQF from Portugal in Borgo San Lorenzo is 7th driving a BMW Z4. Frank from Sweden in Sävle is 8th on softs driving a Nissan GT-R GT3. Frank is now 7th. Peeps from Argentina is 9th driving a BMW Z4. Peeps is P9. Peeps is now P7. Frank in Biondetti is P9. Frank passed LIAM14 for 8th. Stanko Zaribar from Slovenia is P13 driving a Lamborghini Huracan GT3. DJC, AIN in Rettilineo is P14, 0.3 behind Stanko Zaribar. Frank is 7th, 0.4 behind HMG. Frank is now P6. Peeps from Argentina is 11th, 0.2 behind KJRMON. Peeps passed KJRMON for P10. KJRMON in Casanova on lap 2 is 11th, 0.3 behind Peeps. LIAM14 in Arabia 2 is P11 battling KJRMON. LIAM14 is now 10th. Renz rides from Netherlands in Pelagio is P13 driving a Porsche 911 GT3. Our best lap is a 2:19.354. 19.519 off the fastest lap. TJSPQF in Bucini is 5th driving a Z4, 0.3 ahead of Frank. TJSPQF lost 5th to Frank. Renz rides entering the pits is P14. Arturito exiting pits on mediums. Sky in Lucco is third. Best lap is a 1:49.205. Renz rides exiting pits. Paul Jewell from England in Poggio Seco is 7th on mediums driving a McLaren 650, 0.5 behind TJS PQF. LIAM14 on lap 3 is 11th, 0.5 behind HMG. Sky in Scarperia on lap 3 is P3, 0.3 behind Jos Arion. Sky was 0.7 faster last lap. 15 minutes remaining in the session. Peeps on lap 3 is 9th, 0.9 ahead of HMG. Peeps was 3.4 faster last lap. Peeps lost P9 to HMG. FTSE 36